Have you ever asked yourself, right, what does a successful character launch actually look like in a modern game? Is it about the revenue numbers, the massive view counts, the trending hashtags, the sheer volume of noise that proves everyone is paying attention? Or can a character be successful in a different, quieter way? Can their success be measured by the boldness of their design, their dedicated appeal to the game's core audience, even if it doesn't break into the mainstream? Well, I think it can. And that brings us to Phrolova, because by all of that conventional surface level metrics, her launch in Wuthering Waves was quiet. But to look at that quietness as a failure is to miss the point entirely. What if it was a sign that here was a character with an immediately striking design, deep lore, and a complex identity that was never trying to be for everyone? So this video is an appreciation piece. It is an exploration of the confident and mature design choices behind a character like Phrolova. We are going to look at her deep and complicated narrative, we will break down her innovative and rewarding mechanics, and we will analyze her role as the ultimate passion project for dedicated players. And through it all, we will see why her niche appeal isn't a weakness, but a strength, and why it might just be a very good sign for the future of the game's design philosophy. Let me introduce you to LD Shop, a formal game top-up platform developed by the trusted LD Player Emulator Group, guaranteeing safety and reliability for your in-game purchases. LD Shop offers unbeatable prices on Wuthering Waves Lunaites and other in-game items like the Lunite subscription or Battle Pass. You can easily compare their prices, which help you save up to 25%. This means more polls, more resources, and more power for your favorite resonators. Now let's talk about the top-up process. For Wuthering Waves top-up, you need to provide your game UID and password to LD Shop's secure system. It is crucial that you do not log into the game yourself during this recharge process. Once completed, they will securely log out and clear all login records. For maximum account security, they even recommend changing your password after completion, which is a great practice. This ensures a smooth and secure transaction every time. It is 100% safe, and there is no account that got banned until now. Buying your Kuro account here would help completing the top-up quicker. It is streamlined, efficient, and you will see your Lunites or subscriptions appear in your account in no time. And here is something awesome for all of you watching. If you're a new user and you register using my special link, you will get a fantastic 15% off coupon. That is a massive saving of up to $50 on your Wuthering Waves top-ups, letting you grab more Lunites for less. Plus, keep an eye out for an exclusive 5% off bonus you might activate just for being a first-time user. And for those dedicated rovers who want to keep pushing their limits, if you spend over $80 in 1 month on LD Shop, you can claim a free Lunite subscription just for topping up what you normally would. Make sure to claim it on the LD Shop homepage. So if you're looking for a secure, affordable, and efficient way to top up your Wuthering Waves account and get those crucial Lunites or a subscription using my link in the description, LD Shop is the way to go. Now let's get back into the video. So let's start with the most ambitious part of her design, her story. In a genre that often defaults to simple black and white morality, Phrolova is a deliberate splash of gray. And I'm not talking about her hair. You know, the easy path, the safe path, would have been to give players another straightforward hero, another champion of justice with a clear noble cause. It is a formula that works, but instead, the developers chose a much harder and I think far more interesting path. By making a major antagonist playable without first giving her a simple, clean redemption arc, they are making a statement. They are showing a commitment to a more mature narrative, one that moves beyond good and evil and trusts that players can handle the ambiguity. And you can see this commitment to her complex story in the sheer quality of her presentation. Her lore trailer, for example, wasn't just a simple showcase of her abilities, it was a piece of filmmaking. Even people who were critical of other aspects of her launch praised its cinematography, the clever use of camera angles, and beautiful transitions to tell a story visually. This isn't the kind of effort you put into a character you expect to be simple. This is the work of a team that is deeply invested in what they have created. And what all of this shows is a fundamental trust in the audience. The game doesn't hold your hand through the story. It doesn't spell everything out. Instead, it gives you pieces. A cryptic voice line here, a mysterious motivation there. It trusts you, the player, to be intelligent enough to put the puzzle together, to grapple with the mystery of who she really is. And because of this, Phrolova becomes one of the most compelling characters on the entire roster. She isn't just handed to you, her story is something you have to earn. The connection you build with her feels more meaningful because you have to work for it. The excitement doesn't come from cheering for an obvious hero, it comes from the slow, rewarding process of understanding a truly complex individual. And that choice to prioritize depth over easy appeal is the first sign that this character was always meant to be something special. So her story respects the player's intelligence. And as it turns out, her gameplay does the exact same thing. It doesn't just hand you power, okay? It asks you to earn it with skill or, know, money. What makes Phrolova so interesting mechanically is that she is not just another character filling an existing role, she is creating a new one. She is, for all intents and purposes, one of the game's few true off-field DPS characters. This means a huge portion of her damage can be done while she is not the main character on the field. She sets up her performance and then gracefully exits the stage to let her summon, 𝗖cie, continue the fight, triggered by her teammates. This is a design choice that fundamentally changes how you can think about team building and the entire flow of combat, and this spirit of innovation runs through every part of her kit. You see it in her conductor playstyle, where you are not just a brawler, but a manager of a complex battlefield symphony. Take her ultimate ability. It completely ignores the standard energy system that nearly every other character in the game relies on. It has no energy cost and instead operates on its own 20-second cooldown. You activate it through mastering her core forte skill. This is a bold move away from imitation, a completely fresh take on how a character's most powerful ability can function. Now, all of this complexity, managing her volatile notes, building up after sound stacks for her crit damage buff, using her reincarnate state correctly, boom boom helicopter sound, big jargons. It creates what is known as a high skill ceiling. That just means she is a character who is relatively easy to start playing, but very difficult to truly master. But crucially, that difficulty comes with a tangible reward. Mastering her intricate systems doesn't just feel good, it translates directly into more power. While a casual player doesn't need to worry about the specific colors or shines of her notes, a dedicated player who masters the sequence of skills, echoes, and basic attacks will be rewarded with higher damage multipliers. This is a character designed for players who want to see their own skill and dedication reflected in their performance. It is the opposite of a design where you just turn your brain off and press one flashy button. And to top it all off, she isn't a complicated damage machine. Her kit is packed with useful tools that make her surprisingly resilient. She has built-in damage reduction and resistance to being interrupted, which is vital for setting up her complex plays without being knocked around. Her heavy attack even pulls enemies together, providing valuable crowd control for the whole team. She is a durable, versatile, and self-sufficient conductor. They gave her all the tools she needs to successfully manage that complexity on the battlefield. So we have this incredibly deep, mechanically rewarding character, and that same design philosophy. That commitment to depth over simplicity extends beyond just how she plays it. It defines how you build her team. With many characters, the process is simple. You pull them, you slot them into an existing meta team, and you are done. Phrolova asks for more. She is the centerpiece of an entire ecosystem you build around her. And what's brilliant about this is how her design reaches back into the game's roster and breathes new life into the characters. Her best teammate is Cantarella, whose kit has 3 built-in echo casts that perfectly maximizes Phrolova's off-field puppet attacks. Another key partner is 𝗖cie, whose magic box also counts as an echo cast. These synergies make previously niche characters' core components of one of her most unique and powerful teams. This created a small explosion of new theory crafting in a community, which is just what we call the deep dive strategic discussions about the best builds. This design choice serves as a powerful reward for long-time dedicated players. It is a system that values roster diversity, that is, having a wide collection of different characters. Over just owning the 1 or 2 newest, most powerful units, it encourages you to look at your entire collection, to experiment, and to find hidden potential. It is a quiet rebellion against the meta-chasing mindset that can make these games feel stale. And finally, you can see this passion project idea reflected in the sheer level of polish applied to her entire package. And her model looks great, but it's in the details. It's her animated wallpaper being described by players as insane. It is her gachapon animation being so fluid and impressive that people are calling it whole animation power creep. Every single aspect of her presentation feels like it was crafted with an extra level of care and artistic intent. It shows that the developers truly care about this character. They saw her as a work of art, and they gave her the presentation to match. So Phrolova is a passion project, from her story all the way down to her pole animation. And when you look at her this way, the bigger picture starts to come into focus. She represents a deliberate and confident shift in design philosophy, a move away from chasing the wildest possible audience with a simple, safe characters, and a move towards creating deep, complex experience for a dedicated player base that craves something more. And characters like her, these deep, niche, and mechanically complex designs, are absolutely crucial for the long-term health of any live service game. They are what keeps the experience from becoming stale. They give veteran players new interesting puzzles to solve and skills to master. And most importantly, they prove that the developers are willing to take creative risks, to be artists, not just manufacturers churning out the same product over and over again. Which brings us back to our original question about success success. Phrolova's quiet mainstream launch shouldn't be seen as a failure. It should be seen as the hallmark of a successful niche design. She wasn't meant for everyone, but she was everything to her intended audience. The ecstatic reactions from players who appreciated her depth, the explosion of strategy discussions around her unique teams. That is its own very real and very meaningful form of success, and it points to an exciting potential future. So what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and that is all from me, 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗿𝗵𝗁, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.